Try not to lose it when you see this. Um, Keep in mind they lied to you about a lot of things, and keep try to look at this from a perspective of geocentrism, where things are not as big or as far away as they seem. Okay, try and unlearn the bullshit you've been taught. Okay, this guy he's got to be blind. He's literally got to be blind because he looks at it, he sees that it looks like the moon, but then he tries to say it's not the moon because how could it be? Because it would have to be what I just told you, geocentric. It would have to be below the ISS, you know, within the firmament, wandering around like the Bible said, right? And even though the Bible gives him something to work with, he doesn't get it. And then his other excuse was look at the craters on it and stuff like that, right? I mean, the moon has craters, and then he goes to look at the moon to see how illuminated it is, and he can't tell it's identical. It's identical illumination on the moon right there because it's geocentric. It's like not that far away and not that big, and also it looks identical to it as well, like every little feature of it. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to go to where he zooms in on it. You can clearly tell it looks like the moon. Anybody that looks at the sky going to know. So I'm going to let you hear his bullshit. I'm amazed how blind people can be. I'm just amazed. They don't trust their own eyes. It's like, I think he's literally blind or something, though. You got to be not to see this. What?
Now keep in mind that that object is still there. They're part of the space station. It's still there. Always will be because the camera's not changing. We're moving. Watch this thing appear out from behind that. So this object here is between the camera and the surface of the Earth. So this, whatever this is, which again catches the astronauts' attention, because I'm sure they were supposed to take the live feed off now, because it does capture their attention. And I think they're more intent on focusing in on this than they are of stopping the live feed, because this is an extraordinary capture. We don't know what this thing is. Wait till you see it when they zoom in. But keep in mind, this is still facing the Earth, still the same camera. So this is a very large object that's going at relative speed with the space station in its orbit, and relative orbit as well. But as you can see, it's veering downwards. So this thing's going in excess of 16,500 miles an hour, 17,000 miles per hour, with relative with the space station, and also going down. See, here's where they focus in.
You mean it's moving at the exact same speed as the moon would? Because the moon and all these things of heaven, they move around at relatively the same speed. They just wander around at different angles if they're not caught up in the firmament. Like the ones in the firmament go in repeating directions, and they move together. Changes depend on the location of the Earth you're at. Like if you're at the poles, it just spins above you because it's a concave Earth. So the heaven above that's spinning, that's what moves. If you're at the poles, it just spins directly above you. The stars don't move, they don't tilt or anything, because the Earth doesn't move. But the sun does wander north to south, and some of the wandering planets wander upon this. And the moon has this kind of an orbit. You ever seen an eclipse? When they show the trajectory of the eclipse, it has this kind of like northern and southern movement to it. It's the moon. You're gonna see it real clear when you zoom in. It's literally moving the exact same speed as it should be to the moon. Watch, it's gonna say it again. It's going the same speed as the ISS. So it's like moving as fast as it's supposed to.
He's going in excess of 16,500 miles an hour.
You see, he's talking about the speed. That's the speed it would have to be a satellite.
17,000 miles in its orbit and relative orbit as well. But as you can see, it's veering downwards. So this thing is going in excess of 16,500 miles an hour, 17,000. And keep in mind, this is still facing the Earth, still the same camera. So this is a very large object that's going at relative speed with the space station.
Relative speed.
Its orbit and relative orbit as well, but as you can see, it's veering downwards.
Like I
So this
told you.
thing's going in excess of 16,500 miles an hour, 17,000 even miles per hour, relative with the space station, and also going on. See, here's where they focus in. They didn't change cameras. Mary proves that by looking up over here in the to check in. See how they're zooming in on it now? This thing really caught their attention. Now, what does that look like to you? It looks just like the moon, doesn't it? And I'll show you why it can't be. For two reasons. First of all, again, this camera didn't change. This is the same live feed. See how the camera's trying to pick up the light on it? Look at the extraordinary features on this. It looks very similar to our moon, but it couldn't be because there's big bumps on it. Big bumps, like mountains. It's incredible.
He's talking about the craters. He's talking about craters. That's his evidence.
And again, it caught the attention of the astronauts. They didn't switch the camera. It's still the same camera. You don't see the spots and things anymore because they zoomed in. And they're going to pan out on this thing too so it doesn't lose the frame. So this is between the space station and the Earth. This orbit is lower than the space station and going just as fast. And it looks just like a moon, and it's eclipsed just like our moon is. But I'll show you on Mr. MBD333's channel, on his website. He has a moon phase in there. Our moon phase isn't anywhere near like this one. See how they pan out so they keep it?
Nothing like it? Okay. You eat those words, buddy. Because we're going to go there right now. I'm going to let that pan off. I'm going to let you do that. And then
up a little bit so we can look over at Michael's website. Here, speeding it up here to where it goes completely out of view. See that?
Okay. Let's go to his page. I'm about to show you how dumb you are. And this is her checking the cameras right here. This is what it really looks like. How are you gonna tell me that's not the moon, bro? How are you gonna tell me that's not the fucking moon? Look at this shit. And then I'm gonna show you the exact same amount of wax. Look at this. Look at this picture right here. You see that circular part over here? This is what he's seeing. This side, that circular part, then that big continent looking part. That's what he's seeing. Watch. Remember that. You see? Big continent looking part. Continent looking part attached with that ball. There's that ball in the bottom left corner. Then there's a little space. Then the continents. All shaped exactly the same. Look. It's the exact same thing. And of course, this thing can't do that. Look at that. The ball, a little bit of space, and then the continent thing ridging up. It's exactly the same. There's no difference. There's even those little white spots. There's three white spots. You see? Right here. One right there, one to the left, and one just, it's like three of them right there. There's that little round part right here at the center of the screen. And then there's those continents and those little white spots that are in the middle of the continent. Remember that. It's exactly the same. There's literally no difference. Put this up. I'm just gonna hold the frame because I know this thing can't play this resolution. It could load it, but it just can't do it. Now I'm full screen it so you can see. Those two main dots, those are the main ones, and there's a little space right there. There's that circular part. That's the moon. That is the moon. You can see all the craters, all of it. Perfectly identical. Perfectly identical to this picture right here. And watch, I'll zoom out, and you should be able to see them both on the top left screen. You see the exact same little dot, and then the continent part ridging up. Everything about it is identical. Absolutely identical. Without a shadow of a doubt. And the crazy thing about this is that the ISS is getting this view from above. If the ISS is getting this view from above the moon, there's something different about the moon. It's not like you're gonna get this view no matter what. You're gonna get this exact same view if you look at it from above or below. This is equivalent to looking at the moon from its dark side, which is supposed to be above on the other side of the moon. which is equivalent to what the ISS is doing, because this is geocentric, right? You're seeing it from above, so this should be the dark side of the moon you would see from outer orbit. But instead, because this is a projection, it doesn't matter what angle you see it at. The only thing that changes it are the latitudes of the Earth. Just like with a lot of things in heaven, like they change depending on the latitude you look at it from Earth. Like the stars stop going from east to west. They start going just spinning in a circle above you at the poles. Even if it tilts, they don't move all year round and just go in a circle. It's like you're getting the same view from this no matter what. That's another really interesting factor. And then I'm gonna let you see how he's an idiot. He turned this down for 4K because I don't think this can really run 4K. Surprised it's even running 60 frames per second. And this one,
admit, some of it looks like our moon.
It's identical.
But
it's identical. I did not mean to. Did not mean to do that. It's literally identical, man. I don't know how he doesn't.
Hello, welcome to Mary Hall's channel. My name is Dale Dufay. I'm gonna narrate.
I don't know how he doesn't get it. And then here he talks about the level of waxing, right?
It's waning giddiness.
Look at that. Look at that. Remember that? Then when they zoomed in on the moon, it's identical. Look at this. See that? Now look at this. Identical. You see? It's not any different. You see? It's a little bit curved to the side. This one's a little curved to the side. This guy is blind. This guy is clinically blind, man. Like, he has to be blind.
It's a waning.
So you got the exact same little dot down there. Exact same dot. And then the continents branching up from it. Just like this does. You see the little dot and then the continents drifting up from it? Dude, it's finished. How is this guy this blind? How could anybody be this blind? And then nobody fucking called about on this except for me. Nobody. Bruh is blind. That's the moon. That means you just saw the actual moon from the ISS. It's concave geocentric Earth. Not one thumbs up. The lies are unfolding in our eyes. What lies? Do you even know what you just saw? What lies? You just believed their lies. The guy telling you that story was lying. It was buffering. It was buffering. It never, I mean, it's not buffering. It would load for you. He's talking, this guy down here, that's because he had on 60 frames per second. This dude's a nub. Let's see if anybody talks about the moon. Nope. I thought they had announced a few years that they smaller. No, it's not it. That's the actual moon. Y'all just so dumb. So dumb. She caught this shit. The patterns match our moon. Very easy to verify. Exactly. Exactly. You're the only one besides me. See who else had a brain. Definitely does look like the moon. It's called geocentric Earth, man. Called geocentric Earth. Look. I'm gonna copy and paste this to the other idiot. This is the problem, bro. Like, some of them are halfway getting it, but they're not getting it. Florida. Notice there's a moon in the sky. I have 4 very good pictures of the moon. Artificial moon. I think it's artificial. That's the real moon. It's the real one, not no fake one. Now the second one, no, it's identical to our real one. Y'all just don't know shit. This was a year ago though. I literally just got this. I could have sworn I saw this in my subscriptions, but there's like only like 2 people catching on this. These people are so dumb, bro. It's like 1 out of 100 people to have a clue. Yeah, it is the moon. Alright, enough of that. You guys pretty much get it. I guess I could go a little deeper in here. This is a pretty short video. This is the moon. The ridges, standing, phase, all match up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. She's agreeing with me because it's the truth. That's why she like, what the fuck? Because she doesn't know about geocentric or concave Earth. These guys come across the evidence that tells them that it's not a globe. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I need to put that in there too. It is the moon. So I can just copy that. Okay, they would disappear the look part. Because this is ridiculous. There's people seeing it. I want to see what the replies are. Hey, thanks for watching and commenting. Yeah, still scratching my head on this one. Wide open. Wondering about being over water so high, zoomed in, no reflection. So she'd rather think it's not even looking at Earth. That's funny. It was clearly looking at Earth. The camera didn't change. He kept talking about that. There's never any water reflection when it's looking at Earth. Never. She's trying to say what the dude said in the video. She's saying just because, even though it aligns up with everything the moon, like everything about it, all the evidence of it, it is identical. It is exactly identical. She still doesn't get it. That's how blind people are. Looks like about 1 out of like 50 of them. Definitely the moon. The question is how the image showed up. Maybe a reflection. No. I'm not even gonna answer it. If he could see that as the moon, you know, I'll answer it for him though. I'll just say it to him. If he gets it or not. I can't even believe these people ain't getting it. They see it, but they're like, it can't be, because they were told otherwise. That's literally their whole answer. Their eyes tell the moon phase all is exact identical, to the point where they think there's an extra moon now instead of using their own brains. And they think it's just a moon reflection of some sort. I'm not even gonna respond to them anymore. These people, none of these people really got it. None of them. Now they rather say it's anything but the obvious. Very few of them actually say it's the moon. Very few of them. Like a lot of them would be like it's a reflection or some other shit. Exactly. But you're blind in one eye and can't see out the other if you don't see that they're one and the same. Thank you. And I'm gonna end it with that. I'm gonna tell him he's right, man. But I'm just gonna give him this copy and paste thing. He already knows what it is. They all get to be a part of the video. I'm gonna leave on a good note with his truth. Besides my own truth. Because it's identical. It's just how people don't see it. This is hilarious to me.